What's up, guys? I'm gonna explain to you why the 2470 lens is the worst lens and the best lens I have ever owned. What's good, my beautiful people? You know the move, you know the wave, you know the vibe. My name is Frederick. I'm a professional videographer, photographer in the Southern California area, and I help photographers and videographers gain clients and master their camera. But this isn't gonna be your typical spec'd out video on the specs of this camera and the megapixels of your camera and stuff like that. I'm simply gonna explain to you guys why this lens is my absolute favorite lens and why it's my least favorite lens at the exact same time. All right, now let's start with the benefits of this lens. Now the 2470 lens is my absolute favorite lens out of any lens in my bag, and I have plenty. And one of the reasons why is the versatility. Having that 24 to 70 range lets you stay wide, lets you get in close, and that 2.8 aperture is gonna help you in low light even more. When it comes to build quality, video images, photo images, it's flawless. I have no complaints about it at all. So any job that I need, this is the first lens that goes in my bag, simply due to its versatility, right? I don't have to wonder, will I be able to punch in close enough? Will I be able to get wide enough? Even if I need to get further than the 70 millimeter, I can always punch in on my camera and keep my image quality. Another reason on top of versatility is simply the build quality of this lens. It's a very sturdy lens in the hand. I've actually unfortunately dropped this lens before and it did survive a fall, thank God. But the build quality of this lens is A1. And lastly, I kind of spoke on this before, simply the image quality, whether it's photo quality, video quality, getting that great bokeh down at 2.8 in the low light. This thing is amazing when it comes to image quality, and you get it all out of one lens with a big focal length. Now let's talk about some things that I don't like about the lens. Now these are very few, and these might be being pretty petty, but these are things that I know in my experience have kind of hindered me. And the first one is this lens is too versatile. It can make you a lazy shooter. Now I really want y'all to pay attention to this, right? Because when you're doing several jobs, it's easier when you have a prime lens. You really got to focus specifically on shots to really frame the shots how you want it. Now having a 2470, and it's not a bad thing, but it can make you a lazy shooter. And I found myself being a lazy shooter in some jobs, and that's definitely hindered my ability to really learn photography and learn videography. Like I said, this lens is absolutely amazing, but being a lazy shooter is something that we can all fall into. And like I said, having extreme versatility with this lens can definitely do that. With this lens, I've actually found myself before jobs just saying, you know what, I'll just take the 2470 because I know it'll handle everything when I get there, and actually not doing my research when it comes to the shoot that I'm doing, whether it's photo or video. I just throw my 2470 in the bag because I know it's gonna do the job. And then in retrospect, afterwards, I'm looking at myself going, nah, you're not giving everything to the client by taking this lens, right? You really need to identify what's gonna work best in specific situations, whether it be prime lenses, or even if you're gonna take a zoom lens. If you're gonna take a zoom lens, really do your pre-production work to figure out what lens is gonna work best in the situation. Now the 2470 is absolutely amazing. It's almost flawless in my opinion. But one thing as a photographer and videographer that I learned, and I learned very, very quickly, is to not be lazy in pre-production, okay? Pre-production means a lot when it comes to photo and video, okay? So that 2470, like I said, it has gotten me out of a lot of bad situations, a lot of situations that I weren't necessarily prepared for, which is great. But always, 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 always focus on your pre-production and don't be a lazy photographer or a lazy videographer. So if you're ever on the fence about this lens, this is a must-buy lens. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, I gave you the pros, I gave you the cons, and the cons aren't really necessarily cons because this lens is almost flawless. I gotta give props where props are due, right? This is definitely something that you should have in your bag. I always say this, if Batman had a lens, it would be the 2470 lens. This is the lens that belongs in your utility belt for any situation that you need. It can get you out of any situation pretty much. There's very, very few things that this lens can't do, but this lens is a must-have for your bag. So if this helps you guys in any way, drop a like, drop a comment, you can share. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next. Let's get it.